Okay, so I want to share with you some very, very important vocabulary terms, right? Now, in everyday life, if I handed you a piece of paper and I said, copy this, duplicate this, clone this, well, we have the brain capacity to understand that that means the same thing. But to a computer, to software, it doesn't mean the same thing. Guys, computer software doesn't understand semantics. It doesn't understand that clone and copy are the same thing. And guess what? It's not the same thing. Anytime you hear the word copy, copy in software implies pasting. Copy, paste. Cloning, anything can be cloned on your desktop or in any Adobe product or Macintosh product or Apple product, I should say, by simply holding down the Option key. The Option key makes a clone copy. Clone copy. So I'm going to target the green joker. So Command click. Now I want to make a clone copy of this. Now if I move it, it's simply going to move the layer, but if I hold down the Option key, it's going to make a clone copy. So Command, in the move tool, Option key. See how it turns into a double icon? Option key, drag. There's a clone copy. 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 Now, of course, it's made a whole bunch of other copies here. Right? Now, this is where my production techniques really pay off. Now, you can look at this until you're blue in the face or until you're green in the face, no pun intended, but sometimes it's hard to tell, okay, which layer? Is this in this layer or this layer? Why torture yourself? As long as you're in the Move tool, I can now simply Command click. Now I'm in this layer. Command click. Now I'm in this layer. Command click. Now I'm in that layer, etc., etc., etc. Now that I've targeted this layer here, I want to fill that with maybe a different color. So I can know that it's this layer right here because it selected it for me. So I can simply Command click, change the color, Option delete. Command deselects. Command click selects the layer. Command click. Hold down the Command key. Click here targets the layer. Command click loads the selection. Let's pick a different color and Option delete. Okay. Command click. Let's select this layer. Command click again. And let's pick this other color, Option delete. So it's very, very simple, guys, to get different colors inside your layers if you know my production techniques. Okay? It's built into the software. You need to unlock the software. You need to unlock the tool set, guys. Time is money. If you're going to spend time, the last thing you want to do, which is a very common thing that people do, they'll spend 2 hours putting together a Photoshop document until the client needs changes. They'll spend 7 hours making changes to it. Well, you only took 2 hours to build it. Why are you making 7 hours to make changes to it? So if you don't build your document the correct way, if you create a nightmare, you have to babysit the nightmare. Okay, so I just want to share that technique with you. All right, so let's undo this. Let's go File, Revert to the last saved version. Okay, now I said earlier that when I clone copy this, when I basically made a different layer by Command J and changing its name, it didn't bring with it its drop shadow. Now I could have done that by selecting them both and making a clone copy of that. Now in this particular case, I'm going to hide the shadow again. Let's just hide this drop shadow. Okay, now this is a case in point of why I may want to use this particular type of drop shadow. So if you do a drop shadow from here, what that's going to do for you is now when I clone copy the layer or drag it down to here or Command J, it's going to keep these settings. Okay, so it's a very important step here. Okay, so I pick something like, let's do inner shadow, and let's just move a bit here. In fact, let's cancel that for a second. Okay, now just because we can, let's just do like, let's pick an inner shadow, and if I'm going to share with you how this works. If I drag this to the right, notice it basically is going to create an inner shadow. It almost makes it look three-dimensional. Now the advantage again of double-clicking and going to your layer style palette is that's going to basically affect the layer itself. So when you make a clone copy of the layer, where you drag it down here, it's going to basically repeat that. Let's undo this and let's give this a basic drop shadow. So drop shadow, let's say drop shadow is going to be, and I want to affect my, this is very strange here, hang on one second. Okay, so let's go back to drop shadow. Yeah, this wasn't appearing a second ago. All right, so I could adjust the opacity of my drop shadow. I could adjust all kinds of different things with my drop shadow. Okay, so affecting the opacity, affecting the blend mode, etc., etc., etc. Okay, now what I'm sharing with you is whatever you do inside your layer styles here, it's going to be effective when you make a clone copy by dragging it down here. So those are just two production techniques. You can make your own physical shadow from scratch, which I'm a big fan of doing because you have more control over it, but then when you make a clone copy, you're going to have to remember to clone copy the drop shadow as well. So again, those are just a couple of production techniques. Now, in our next video, we're going to go into actual photograph. I'm going to use the techniques I've shared with you in this video series here to basically build and use Photoshop the correct way. We'll do that in our next video.